Hi there, Tier 1 Games fans. We're back with another unboxing. This is our second unboxing for Final Fantasy TCG. This is the Final Fantasy VII starter. And again, as you can tell, neat thing on these Final Fantasy starters is, so the elements that the deck focuses on, red and gold here, or red and yellow. These are the focus of the deck. So it looks like a little bit of fire and not sure what yellow is going to focus on in this, but in either case, Final Fantasy VII. Let's get into it. So we'll be right back after we get this open for you guys. Alright guys, we are back with our Final Fantasy VII starter unboxing here. So right off the bat, Cloud, of course, 6 red, 9,000 power, and let's see if we can't get this glare fixed a little bit here. So, the cost to play Cloud on the battlefield is reduced by 1 for each Final Fantasy VII forward you control. Each time a forward you control attacks, it gains plus 1,000 power until the end of the turn. And then he's got his Climb Hazard special ability here. So choose one forward and deal it 8,000 damage. So that's pretty dang cool there. So we get 3 copies of that Cloud. And one of the things we're noticing too when we're getting these starters is the cards are all essentially stuck together. So do be careful if you're pulling these apart. Zangan, let's see what we got with him here. So 4 cost, and let's see if we get this separated here. There we go. So Martial Arts Master, so this is a backup. EX Burst though. When he enters the field, you may search for one card named Tifa, and add it to your hand. And a Tifa card of 4 or less gains haste. So that seems pretty dang cool. So we get a couple of him. Actually 3, so we get the full playset. And playsets in this game are 3, not 4 like many other card games. So here, I'm trying to see if this card is actually stuck together now. Alright. So we get Tifa, 4 cost, 8,000 power, Water Kick special ability where you're going to have to discard another copy of her, choose a forward, dull it, and deal it 6,000 damage. So basically getting rid of anything low to mid-range. So, and again, some really great artwork on these cards. Bahamut Fury, so it's a special summon, EX Burst as well. Choose a forward, you may discard 1 card from your hand. If you do so, deal it 7,000 damage. If not, deal it 5,000 damage. So, if you got nothing good in your hand, you want to just pitch something, get that extra damage in. Another playset of that. Awesome. Alright, then Red 13. Very cool. When he enters the field, choose a forward. It gains plus 3,000 power until end of turn. Cosmo Memory. Seems quite expensive to get that off. Steal 6,000 to all the forwards your opponents control. So wow, that's basically a board wipe, unless they have something big out. That seems really cool. Alright, and then we got Ifrit, so another summon. EX Burst as well. Choose a forward, deal it 4,000 damage. Nice and easy for 1. So just 2 copies of him. Alright, Black Mage, very cool. Backup, put Black Mage in the break zone, choose a forward, deal it 4,000 damage. So, and you gotta spend a red and rotate him or dull him. So, even your backups are basically burning your opponent's creatures. An Invoker, 1 cost, nothing else about him, so just a generic standard unit here. Alright, Samurai, Brave, so attacking doesn't cause him to dull, 6,000 power, so that's not bad. Final Fantasy Tactics, love that game. Magus, when it enters the field, do 3,000 damage to all the forwards opponents control. Wow. So you maybe set up some attacks with some lower level units, get damage on your opponent's creatures, and then drop one of these later in your turn. Or try and wipe their board early maybe, if they have weak stuff out. So that's cool. What else we got here? Squires, just 5,000 for 2, so just generic kind of mid-range creatures. Oh yeah. Vincent, there we go. get into the yellow cards now. Gunslinger forward. When he attacks, he gains first strike. Very nice for 3. And that can make it a little more of a difficult decision for your opponents to block if you get something like that. Not the Squire, but like the Black Mage or some of these other cards that the Magus that just deal damage to your opponent's whole board. And then you have someone like Vincent Swing who's going to strike first and probably finish off most things that he's facing. So that's neat. Wedge. Oh yeah. More Final Fantasy VII goodness. 4 cost. Seems a little high. Backup. When he enters the field, search your card for bigs and add it to your hand. Okay, so a little bit of tutor action there. Thin the deck out. And we got Jessie. 3 cost. And again, these are all the Avalanche guys. When she enters the field, search for any Final Fantasy VII forward, basically. Add it to your hand. So more tutor action. Always good. Getting the cards you need. Oh, the man himself. Barrett or Blade Jr. here. 2 cost, 6,000 power. His special ability, though, is you're going to have to discard another copy of him, which I guess is what all that tutoring will also help for, but deal 2,000 to all the forwards your opponent controls. So this deck seems about just beating your opponent's face in, and then if they do get a board, you just have so many different ways to deal all of their forwards damage at the same time. So that's really cool. Then we get Biggs. So he does not tutor, but let's see. When a backup you control is put from the field into the break zone, deal 1,000 damage to all the forwards your opponents control. Good lord. So you can bring out all these guys that do these like 1, 2, or 3,000 damage to all their forwards. Get a few of your guys killed, and you have Biggs out. Then all their guys are taking another 1,000 damage. So it seems like this deck will be very good at just keeping your opponent with few to no forwards on the board. Dark Knight. So standard unit forward, for each point of damage you have received, he gets plus 1,000 power. So probably a little weak early game, but as you start taking damage, he's going to become increasingly better for you as a blocker or an attacker. Then we got a Black Belt, just a standard unit. 4 cost, a little expensive, but 8,000 power is no joke. And a Golem from Final Fantasy Tactics, a summon, EX burst. So choose a forward, it gets plus 2,000 power until end of turn. If it's blocking, though, it's plus 4,000 power instead. So, and for 1 cost, that's a nice little combat trick. Especially again if you're, if you're attacking and your opponent doesn't know you have something like this, you can push your main characters kind of over the top, or if you've already done a whole lot of damage to all their creatures, you can attack with something weaker, and maybe they think they'll have a chance of beating it, and then you just throw this in for that extra power and maybe survive the combats. A Monk here from Tactics, so I think this is probably the last card in here. So Monk, backup, 1 and rotate him, dull him. Put Monk into the break zone, choose a forward, it gets plus 2,000 power until end of turn. So another way to have a little combat trick, get that extra damage in, win those fights and all that. So that has been the Final Fantasy VII starter deck for Final Fantasy TCG. Again, this seems like a really cool and very synergistic deck, a little more so maybe than the Lightning deck right off the bat. So seems like it just has brute strength in the form of some of your named Final Fantasy VII characters, and it's got tutoring, it's got dealing mass damage to all your opponent's forwards, and it seems like it does a whole lot, and the tutoring might as well be as good as extra card draw, so you're going to thin your deck out. pretty fast, so you can get more relevant draws as the game progresses. And it's got a good mix of generics and backups and all that. So combat tricks to add to everything else that this deck already can do right off the bat. So we can definitely recommend this one. So stay tuned for another unboxing video as soon as we get another starter in, and hopefully we'll have some actual gameplay videos fairly soon. Along with, we'll probably do a rules review, because I think that's probably a good idea for everyone, since this game hasn't caught on too widely yet. Should mention, just in case I forgot, all these starters do come with a playmat, which also serves as a little bit of a rules reminder on where things go, and then a little rules poster which has just about everything on there. So there's still a few in-game things that are a little confusing sometimes, so we're going to have to see if the FAQ online or anything has some clarifications for that. But again, this has been the Final Fantasy VII starter for the Final Fantasy TCG. So again, featuring Cloud as and the rest of the Avalanche crew from Final Fantasy VII. So if you like the video, give us a like and maybe a subscribe, and stay tuned for more. Thank you.